American. I don't care. You're shoving my here. But I'm American. I don't fucking don't care. I'm American. I'm American, please. And so what? But I'm talking on the phone with my girlfriend. Okay, so please have a seat or take 1 meter distance.
And I know this creator, you know, I actually like him, but like, yo, bro, like, stop, like, what is this? Like, I'm not getting anything. Oh, it's just what's a joke? Like, we're in a whole other side of the world of you guys. It's so weird. Like, it's so weird. And they actually never will acknowledge it, you know?
None of the senators, the reps, nobody's in the forefront at all. We see Jasmine Crockett, though. We do see her. We see Maxine Waters.
See, the Democrat Party has always partnered with those sellouts who get out and make noise for everybody else but us. So don't be fooled by them getting out and making a little noise. They're not making it for you.
But you know who they strategically partner with, Mark? It's the strategic people that they partner with that's black. And I don't know nothing about Jasmine Crockett, but I'm sitting here right here at work at my desk. I bet my whole paycheck she D9, bro.
Oh, that's without a doubt. But here's the part, and maybe you weren't in the room when I spoke on it. Pay attention to after she got in position in a less than $200,000 a year job, she started buying $1 million properties. She was able to buy almost $10 million in property. How is that possible? Unless she was getting the kickbacks like the rest of them through that USAID money that was going out of the country and then coming back in the form of bank accounts, offshore bank accounts. Don't let them fool y'all with playing black when it's convenient, y'all.
I don't mean to interrupt and interrupt the flow, but I wanted to, speak because I had some other things to do right quick, but I just wanted to.
No, you're not interrupting. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, QT. I should have got to your.
Oh no, that's okay. I just wanted to get it off my mind before I leave the space. This is a God moment, you guys. Great minds think alike. You will not believe that you guys just confirmed what I had been writing down for a whole hour about formulating a meeting place on spaces online and offline to make calls once a week or so, make calls to these senators and the White House and Congress and these corporations and do a group email, group hashtags once a week or so, make a prepared script for everyone to be able to uniformly send out to these people and shame them, show up at these meetings. We need a database. To me, I think that we need like a website or a database for all the coons and celebrities and the melanated immigrants and stuff that are cosplaying us. We need to find and list their ethnicity because they're lying and saying that, they are us and they are not. Find and list it, publish our findings, meet in a space online, offline, places.
Also, cops that got a history of abuse.
Yeah, the police, all of them. The list goes on. The melanated sellouts, the white sellouts, everyone that has done us wrong. Just every week, I nominate Jasmine Crockett and Ayanna Pressley. I'm nominate them to do like just getting a petition signed, full disclosure details on the website of their history, their voting history, their arrest, cheating scandals, all their transactions, list all the sponsors and the bankrollers that are bankrolling them and just bombard them. And this is just a God moment, a central, database of some sort that we can have a plan of action and a strategy meeting and targeting these people. And I just appreciate you allowing me to speak. And this is God. Thank you.
I agree with you because that's how a lot of these people get in a position and be able to slip through the cracks behind our back or right in front of our face. We don't know who the fuck these people are. You know what I'm saying? And the only time we notice them is when they doing some bullshit after the fact. But by then the damage is done. So I'm all for that. I even got some money to put on if y'all want to crowdfund it.
These are the things that need to happen, y'all. And I haven't been. I'm one of those that haven't been about asking people for money and things like that. But if y'all want to do things like that, where you can organize money to organize a message and pay to get it out, do it. This is the year of disruption. Disrupt that shit. Vote them all out. Somebody Google HR 572, the National Office of New Americans. Google it and watch. You have to hit text once you get to the website. Press the box where and hit text so you can read. I want y'all to see who all the co-sponsors were for the National Office of New Americans. And guess where it's headquartered? Guess where it was headquartered out of? The White House. We talking this bill was introduced 8 days after Joe Biden was elected. 8 days. And so you had that many co-sponsors. That mean that they had already prepared this bill before he won office. There's no way that they drafted a bill within 8 days. They were already organizing to give these people every damn thing. Look up the New Deal for New Americans. And they're still doing it. Because Trump is in office, y'all see they just found what they just found out that the people at FEMA or somewhere gave another $59 billion to the illegals. So this stuff is still going on, so we had to start organizing. But somebody Google HR 572, the National Office of New Americans, and I want y'all to look at who the co-sponsors are on that bill. See if y'all recognize y'all congressmen from the states that y'all from.
I saw that where they said that FEMA hurried up and gave 59 billion or $1 million to them luxury hotels in New York. And then like 2 days later, the lady from FEMA, some people from FEMA quit or got fired or something like that. But shit, like I said, the damage was already done, man. So we got to get ahead of this shit because they busting moves. And like all we can do is just react to the fact after the fact they done already did some bullshit. We always late to the tardy to the motherfucking party.
They are determined to destroy y'all future. The same way they did us. And I won't be quiet while they do it to you. If you listen and you look this stuff up and you move the way we're instructing you and showing you how to move, it won't happen to you. If you lay back and say nothing, you are going to get fucked. We didn't have nobody like us in the 90s. We didn't have nobody speaking up for us when we were in our teens. They were telling them to lock us up, kill us, put drugs on us. They were saying this evil shit. And these were supposedly Christians. Secret society Christians. that go to the same churches that our parents and grandparents were going to. They fucked over us, and it's time that we fuck over them. Vote all those sons of bitches the fuck out. I wouldn't give a damn how they cry. Vote them out.
I look forward to this day too, Mark. If you really have a space like that in the near future, man, about calling ICE, because I know all of us know where some immigrants is in our communities. They didn't put them people off in the motherfucking suburbs. They put them people right next door to us. Y'all know when y'all step outside y'all house, when y'all go to the grocery store or y'all go to the gas station or go to them little corner stores, them liquor stores in y'all community or go Anywhere, to even if you go to your local chicken spot, it's some foreigners. We sitting up eating chicken cooked by Arabs, man. What type of shit is that? That ain't even no food that they cook in their community like that. That's some shit that we came up with. So why the fuck is we buying chicken from Arabs? I don't know about nobody else's neighborhood, but in my neighborhood, we got this place called Sharps and we got this place called JJ's. You walk in there, it's Arabs in there cooking the fucking chicken. Like that shit don't even aesthetically don't even look right. And niggas going there, I mean black people going there all day long buying the fucking chicken, man. So we got to get those are our businesses. Because back in the day, in the early 90s, in the 80s, I remember that place being like a Taco Bell or something like that. And they just stripped it from the commercial franchise it used to be. And now it's this shit called JJ's, and it ain't nothing but immigrants in there running that shit. It's unsanitary. The health department don't come through. They nasty.
Hey, you must be
they
from
don't
Chicago.
got gloves and shit on.
You from Chicago?
Nah, I'm from Ohio.
Oh, it's
but all the Midwest, Mark, Chicago, Ohio, Indiana, Indianapolis, Detroit,
Kansas
went
City,
through the same thing. Kansas City, Missouri, we all went through the same thing.
St. Louis. That is correct.
All of it, man. They dumped these immigrants in the middle. They put them. They on the shores too, like it. But they've always been in New York. But they dumped a lot of them there too. But they really dumped them in the middle so they can hide them. They really in the Midwest. They here.
Heavy. And you know what? Two things I'm gonna add to that. I'm 40, and I remember going to a magnet school. With almost my teachers were Hispanics. We had like 2 or 3. At that time, you had more Black American teachers, and they put me in a class with majority of Hispanics with a Hispanic teacher, and she was just as mean as she wanted to be. And thinking back and looking how things go, they were helping them then. Also, too, I want to add to what you were talking about with the restaurants like JJ's Chicken. I'm in the South right now. I travel a lot with my job. And yes, everybody already knows that I do work for the government. Catch this though. There are Arabs, Indians, and everybody else that owns soul food restaurants. I swear on everything. I walked in and I was amazed because when I got back to never actually lived in the South, but I came down to the South and moved here. And I was excited. It was in Tennessee first. And I walked in, my face just dropped. The food looked nasty, like the chicken and I seen a few Black folks sitting eating. I'm like, man, what the hell have we come to? Seriously, something's very off. The Democrats.
Don't forget that in order for it to happen, these Black politicians, and I'm speaking on Black politicians because we live in the Black community. Now, in the white areas, they have to do the same, educate and teach. And if we all get in the same spaces, we can have those conversations as well, right? But we know for a fact that these Black elected officials under this Democrat Party and these Democrat strongholds, these Black majority strongholds, gave way to and resources to these illegals, to these people that we're speaking on. They gave them the resources, not just in the last 4 years. You're just hearing about it in the last 4 years. For us, the plan has been on the book since 2011, where they said over 100,000 positions were opening in our city, a number that is expected to grow over the next decade. They said we would train and accelerate, and attract immigrants to fill these positions over the next 10 years, right? The plan literally says that they're gonna relax the banking laws and all these things. We knew about this. Well, at least I was on the radio sounding the alarm. But because these people are so beholden to this Democrat Party, they would fight me. But you know how many phone calls I get now? Especially when Biden were in office, people were calling me, man, you tried to tell us this back in 2011. They saw it in the last 4 years. If y'all don't rise up, your future is going to be, they're not done. They're still doing it. Trump don't have enough people to cover the country. We have to organize and put people in office who are going to put a stop to them. These Democrats, these black Democrats, help them do this. These secret society, some of y'all are in those various organizations, and they messing over y'all too. So y'all need to help us overthrow them too. Why are you so obligated to that secret society when the leadership is selling you out too? They making you a dues paying dummy. They don't do nothing for you. They were doing it for these illegals. They were doing it for these immigrants who are here on expired visas and shit like that. They helped give them a leg up. It's no way this could have happened without them. And it's time we send them a message. We're not going to be fooled by Jasmine Crockett, Danny Davis. We're not going to be fooled by any of them. Young people, y'all fight for y'all futures. You are going to get fucked if you go along with this. And the fucking is going to come in the form of you being unemployed, in poverty, dying, going to jail, can't find opportunities. What you see Elon and Trump doing is taking these resources that are going overseas, bring them back into America. This stuff is opened up for Americans. They're deporting these immigrants out of here so that America goes to work. They're forcing these corporations to come here and make their products so that people in America can have jobs, own up into businesses, or whatever you choose to do. You cannot afford to sit back and listen to these Democrats telling you about racism while they support systematic discrimination against you. I don't mind dealing with racism. Okay, we can all hate each other. But when you use the system to systematically discriminate and leave me out, that's worse than any person that hates me because of the color of my skin. I don't mind you hating me, but when you starve us into savagery, oh, that's a real problem. Help bring the jobs back to this country by voting against this Democrat Party. And I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I'm just smart enough and I've lived long enough and watched them do the shit that they've done to us and these Democrat strongholds like Chicago. Ain't no fucking Republicans in power in Chicago, y'all. And y'all can say this, if y'all start looking in y'all cities, y'all see the same thing. These are Democrats. Our city council, our county, the state, all of Illinois is ran by Democrats. They don't have to ask a Republican a damn thing. They have it all under their control. The lieutenant governor is a black Democrat woman. The Speaker of the House, black Democrat man. The governor is a Democrat. County board president, Democrat. I mean, all through. And so how the hell the Democrat Party was so much for black people? Well, how the hell all this unemployment, poverty, and crime and bad schools and schools shutting down not being addressed in a Democrat stronghold where there are no Republicans in power? I don't want to hear nothing about no damn Republican. When I know these are all Democrats doing this in the city of Chicago and the county of Cook and the state of Illinois.
Let me squeeze in for a second because I didn't want to move away from the Arabs on the corner store, if that's okay. These Arabs, they're in our neighborhoods, and there's so many corner stores. They are doing grimy things, illegal things. They're letting people purchase hot food on food stamps, which is prohibited. They are buying food stamps off of. They put them in the poorest neighborhoods. The corner stores are in the projects, and these women are desperate, so they're selling diapers.
They fucking on them too. Let's be real. They fucking on them too.
Yeah, I was getting ready to get to that. Wait one moment. I was getting ready to get to that because they love the black women, and they smile and grin, and they are flirtatious, and they want black women, so they're doing dirt. They put now there's a clothing line and glasses, shoes. You can buy a whole. They have a whole store inside of the corner store. the convenience store has a whole shopping department, clothing department in there now, making money hand over fist, but they're using getting the food stamps, and I don't know how it works, but I know that someone had told me that they like would let someone buy, they would buy the food stamp off of them and probably going to Sam's Club or one of these grocery stores and using the card to buy all of their merchandise and then, stock their, but they were using stamps, letting people use stamps to buy things. And then they would buy stamps off of people. They would do the transaction and the person would give the card and they would purchase whatever and then give it back to them. It's just a whole grimy mess. And
they basically stocking their shelves with somebody's food stamp card.
That part. That's it.
You know what else they do, QT? And I got a videotape of this motherfucker doing it. I sat there and taped him. He pulled up at his, and this was early in the morning when the corner store was just opening. He pulled up, popped his trunk to his van, and was bringing in bags of cereal and shit from the dollar store. Now they get these items from the dollar store that costs $1.25. It's called Dollar Tree. They'll go to Dollar Tree, get a whole bunch of items that cost $1.25 and put them on their shelves for $2.99, $3.99, $4.99. You go in these corner stores, a box of cereal costs $10.
Yes, you'll see them in the grocery stores with huge shopping carts, 2 and 3 shopping carts, where they're buying the same item, and that those Indians are not, they're buying the whole things of when the stuff is on sale, and then they stock it in their grocery stores. They stock it, in the convenience stores, and then the prices are just, outrageous price gouging. 2.0.
And you want to know why they do that too? Because they know it's somebody somewhere in that neighborhood. They don't have transportation to a grocery store to just hop in their car. So they'll just like, fuck it. I got the EBT card. It ain't really my money. It's free money. They're going to re-up next month anyway. I'll go ahead and buy the $10 cereal. They winning off of it.
That part. The older ladies that can't get around send their little grandson to the corner store and she has to pay what she can pay because, she can't get to the grocery stores and the big chains, and the corner store is a walk away or a bike ride away to and then but it's very grimy, it's very underworldish, and it's very third worldish. And I'm just so glad for this delineation. And thank you for letting me speak.
I mean, but who would, QT, let me ask you, who would you report that to, though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because
they are Arabs.
We ain't allowed to do that shit. If a black person own a business, we got to follow the letter of the law. We better not have a piece of lint on the ground, or they trying to shut our shit down.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Now that Trump's in office, because before the police didn't do anything, they wouldn't. They're shooting people. They're grabbing girls up in in chokeholds at these stores and at these restaurants and at these nail shops. They're in these corner stores. So yes, and then the police wouldn't do anything. But now that Trump is in office and he is a deportation maniac, it's time for us to help him facilitate people reunite with their families and loved ones in their own country. Thank you for letting me speak.
You know what, too? And it ain't no secret. They just laxed. When it comes to these funky ass folks, the Democrats do us in every time. And to know these people which we already know, and you already know I'm not with the Democrats at all, 100%. I would never go back. It would take an act of, talking about Congress, an act of God for me to ever fool with the Democrats ever again, because I understood what they done to us and what they were going to do. And I can't lay in the bed with you knowing that you want my head. And I believe that, this is me, personally, I believe they ain't going to forget. I believe they have a vengeance for us. And they understand that this last election was swayed by Black Americans. Nobody else. White Americans, they did not do this. Illegal immigrants, they did not do this. Black Americans was the forefront of everything. And people were taking keynotes from us. and how our communities was going and which direction we was going into. But fuck them. And that's just what it is.
No, and know this: these are very diabolical people.
I know.
If y'all don't put a stop to them, note that these people are highly offended and upset that we went against them. They're gonna quietly sit idly by and try to get back in office, and they're gonna fuck us up if we don't stop them. Let me say this to you all again. Understand and know who you're dealing with. These are some very evil people. While they have you looking over there at some white racist Republican that don't exist in your city, they're doing all type of evil shit. They don't want you to see them. If you allow them to get back in power, they're going to come for your head. And so you don't have the luxury of sitting idly by. They're coming back. They're coming for all of us that went against them. And the way to stop them is y'all run candidates from amongst y'all. Overthrow every single one of them. I don't give a damn if they some kin to you, they go to your church, you're a part of their secret society, they smile and lie to your ass and have you thinking and women feeling all warm and fuzzy, vote against that motherfucker. Because they're coming. Oh, you best believe these people are pissed. They cannot believe that we had the nerve to rise up against them. But if you let them get back in power, they're going to come for you. And the way to stop that is go against them. Start organizing now. This social media, X, Twitter, app, it needs to be flooded with rooms and spaces where we talk nothing but about overthrowing every single one of them. They were willing to bring in millions of people to do you in. And you successfully, those that went against them, we successfully went against them and defeated some of them. Defeated them nationally. But please note, all they're waiting to get back at us. Don't you take it like they're going to just accept it. Let's get them. Let's get them, y'all. Let's organize. And if we can organize a few dollars across the country, man, hey, look, I don't care if you don't put up $1 and one vote. Organize $1 and one vote against every single one of them. Everybody who said that they're committed to voting these people out, put up $1. $1, one vote to vote out Jasmine Crockett, Bobby, Danny Davis, who all of them across the country. Look at how Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush were willing to lose it all standing up for illegals. They were willing to lose it all. And they lost it too. Let's make the rest of them lose it. Since they think that illegals are that important, then you tell the damn illegals to vote for you. Because we voted against all of their asses. And if they're your friend, they can still be your friend, but they don't have to be your elected official. Vote the motherfucker out. Vote them out. My friend asked me, man, you gonna go against me? Yes. I looked him right in his eyes and told him, you damn right. Then you vote for the illegal measures? Yeah, I vote. Okay, well, I'm voting against you then. We gonna still be cool. Now, if you don't want to be cool, that's on you. But I want us to still be friends. But I'm not voting for your ass in the next election. And I told him to his face, since you think that they were that important, God damn it, you tell them to vote for you. You tell them to vote for you. Or go to the country that they're from and you run for office since you love them that much and see if they vote for your ass over there.
I think that you have more backings than what you think, especially from Black American grassroots. But also, too, Mark, you got a lot of people from across the aisle, as far as white Republicans and everybody else that respect it. I have never seen again in the 40 years that I have been alive, and half of them I wasn't cognitive at all. So I didn't know what the deal was really going on. So shit. With that being said, thinking I ain't never seen nothing like this, and I'm very proud of Black Americans. I have never seen us really free think in my lifetime, right? The way we doing it now, seeing you guys write up legislation, like you said, people writing these bills. I remember a little bit ago, it had to be, I think, last year when you were talking about the same stuff that you're talking about now, and we were on here and we was pulling up the bills. And he was talking about the Office of New American. He was talking about it was something else, and I think it was probably in Chicago that was happening. And it's just funny that we're here today with a major, major loss for the Democratic Party. All the fucked up shit that they done locally and federally to Black Americans and others, and others as well, but we talking about Black Americans. And it's just funny that we're sitting here and the rabbit got the gun. Now we have them on the ventilator. Now they're the one that's counting down those breaths. And like you said, I'm with you. Let them die off. They've been treasonous.
And they're criminals. We started to see money that's being stolen. They criminals. These people need to be in jail for real. Like I ain't really just feeling like I don't know how the process is about to go because I mean it's early. Trump ain't been in office a month yet. But it's good that Doge is finding it. But these people, like, I don't want to just find out that they stealing money and then they just walk off into the sunset. Because, like I said, you and I couldn't go nowhere and steal shit. We can't go steal a pack of bubble gum. It's repercussions for our freedom if we do something like that. And these people stealing millions of dollars. These people need to be locked up in jail. These motherfuckers ain't no celebrities. These is regular people.
Why do y'all think that they're not stepping up to the plate and getting these conversations about reparations? Why do y'all think that they're not talking about issues that are plaguing us? Because they are getting out those dollars, that USAID money that's going out of the country. That money is coming back in the form of offshore accounts for people like Jasmine Crockett, them and all of them. It's no way that you can be making less than $200,000 a year affording to purchase $10 million in real estate. It's impossible unless you're involved in corruption. That's why they're not saying anything. And then all of a sudden, Presley and all of them, Jesse Jackson's son, Jonathan Jackson. If just in case y'all don't know, that's Jesse Jackson's son that y'all saw in that video. That's his son that y'all never really see. After his brother went to prison as a congressman, the son then stepped up and got the position. The other son that y'all don't know that much about unless y'all from Chicago. Right? Along with Sheila Jackson Lee's daughter. Y'all don't see they're stepping up to the plate talking about issues that they've been hearing us pounding about because they see that we're walking away from them. They see we're not listening to them. They're not able to just automatically dictate and we follow what they're saying. I'm telling y'all to take it further. I'm saying for the next year, 2 years, whatever, let's spend our time organizing against these people. Educating and organizing and informing one another on the app and on the ground. Go against these people. Your future is at stake, young people. They don't care if you die, if you go to jail. They don't give a damn if your children starve. Treat them the way the fuck they've been treating you. Stop wanting to be friends with your enemy. Be nice to those who step on you. You fuck over them the way they fucked over you all your life. I'm glad Elon is fucking them up and Trump fucking them up. Good. Now maybe you'll bring your ass down here and know what we've been going through. Since you've been sitting high and looking low. Let's do them in the way they done us in. They need to be homeless. They need to be jobless. Y'all come on. I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear from everybody. Come on, hey, don't be afraid to speak. Don't be afraid. We have the power. Do y'all know out of this whole United States of America that with all the senators and congressmen together, it's not 500 of them? But maybe it may be 500 or 600 or whatever it is. It's not 1,000 then. I'm going to say that. And the entire country, there's less than 1,000 elected officials in Congress. We have the power. We don't have to acquiesce to them when they don't go along with what the hell we say. One of these congressional districts having upwards of 700,000, 750,000 residents to every congressman. So why the hell are we allowing them to dictate to us? Fuck over us. Don't bring anything back and then turn around and vote for them. Tell us who to vote for. Those days are over. They've done enough to our generation. We're not going to allow them to do it to your generation. Unless, look, the way it happened, the only way it happened to y'all is y'all go along to get along. But if you rise up and go against them, you will send them the even stronger message than you did on election night. Stick it to them the way they stuck it to you. Go ahead. Who else want to speak? Go ahead. The floor is open.
Now I was gonna say, like when you said how little just now, you said how little politicians it is. It's only like 500 of them. It's funny because like they all in cahoots. It's only 500 of them, and they seeing all this money. Like think about it. Like when we all get paid, the money come out of our checks from the federal income and the state taxes and the federal taxes. So they seeing this big ass number of money and they just like, you know what I'm saying? We got access to all this money. Like they can't believe it. Like, man, I'm about to get me some. All right, well, if you're going to get you 3 million, shit, send me 3 million too. It's almost like at a fast food restaurant. If everybody on the gig, like after midnight, we about to hit the red, don't ring up nothing. You know, you make that food, we gonna get this money, you know, and everybody in on it. You know what I'm saying? Like at a restaurant or something like that. If y'all know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I just think all them politicians is crooked for real. Every last one of them, man. All them motherfuckers. If you look at, like you said, if you look at their salary, and then you do the ratio of that of what they yearly make and what the fuck they actual net worth is, and you see that they got millions of dollars and they only supposed to be getting $100,000 a year salary. How the fuck did you accumulate this much money? You only could have stole it. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's always a question of like who gonna police the police. But now that Doja's in effect, I mean, we got a system that's shining light on the corruption, but the motherfuckers need to go to jail, man. People need to go to jail. That's what I'm more so offended by. I don't want to keep hearing about how much they stole. I don't give a fuck if you stole $5. Your ass need to go to jail. Cause it's a guy in Mississippi right now. He been locked up, I think, since the 80s. He stole $8 worth of shit. Ain't no president pardoned him or nothing like that. Man's still in jail in Mississippi. He stole $8 worth of shit, but from back in like the 70s or 80s. He's still sitting in jail. They gave him life for it. But regardless of that, you turn around and see these politicians stealing millions and millions of dollars. I don't want to just keep hearing about that shit on the news. I want to see one of these motherfuckers walking off crying with some handcuffs on their ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when I'll be satisfied. Lock these motherfuckers up, man. For real, all of them. All the ones we've been seeing on TV. Lock Maxine Waters' old ass up. She's stealing money too. Her net worth 16, 17 million. I don't give a fuck how long you've been in office. You shouldn't have that much money. You've been stealing money while people out here starving, veterans out here on the corner with cardboard signs. And the people still, and we so godly, we still take care of our own people. Can't take care of all of them, but we take care of the ones we can. But that's really the government's job. They got buku money. They got, you know what this shit showed me, y'all? This shit showed me that there's so much fucking money that should none of us want for nothing. We all should be living in free homes, everything. They got so much money just to give to people that aren't even in this fucking country. Like this shit low key make me want to stop working and just like we need to take to the streets and just burn this whole shit down and restart this shit over. Like, hold on, y'all got this shit fucked up. Like, rip the fucking Constitution up. Rip that shit. 14th Amendment, motherfuckers that finesse their way in here on that shit, get your ass the fuck up out of here. All these branches of law and all this shit that where people been laundering money and corruption, just start that shit from scratch. It really need to be a revolution in this country or some type of civil war for real, because it's just this shit ain't right. It's just based off of just corruption and foulness, and people been getting over for years. But it's only so much people gonna take to where it eventually comes to that. History showed us that's what it came to before, and it's gonna repeat itself because motherfuckers still being corrupt. People still doing the wrong thing. So it's gonna be another war. Because I will say that about the younger generation. They not complacent like the older generation. Like my aunts and my uncles that's in their 70s. They complacent. They just, they done got old. They happy just as long as they got a hot plate of food, they get to watch the news and Family Feud and talk about, what's going on. They cool. That's their day for the day. But this younger generation, man, they don't really give a fuck. And I know they look weird. They wear skinny pants and they like bright colors and shit like that. But they really don't give a fuck like that. They will tear some shit the fuck up. And yeah, they not gonna stand for this shit. I truly believe if we don't correct this, the younger generation will make war with this country for real.
Well, I just want to say, riddle me that basically the government is supposed to be checks and balances. We now have individuals that are corrupt in the government. They're also immigrants that are changing the interpretation of what was already written. We, the people, I'm going to keep saying it. We are the people that make sure that this government works in the way that it's supposed to. And a lot of times we become disenfranchised and we have not been taking up the responsibility to make sure we as a founding population in this country is receiving what is due to us, right? So now is the time. I think it's still a great time for us. The opportunities are there to right the wrongs and us get in our rightful position. So when Mark says run candidates, run yourself, all of that, this is the time. This is the time. The ancestors are lining it up for you to make it, and we get into our rightful, powerful positions. But if we continue to sit back and not do anything about it, then it's going to continue to happen because the immigrants come from corrupt nations. Look at the Africans. Look at the third worlders and their countries. We already know what they're coming to do. Or they're from socialist countries. You see where I'm going? They come to America because we made America great. We made America wealthy. And they're coming to steal our wealth. And they tell us we don't know what to do in our own country. So we know what to do right now, right? Get them up out the paint. Make sure we control our local, state, and federal budgets going forward. Because we have that opportunity. And we can starve them and they won't. And then make sure that we pressure our government for immigration moratorium. Because at some point in time, we got to get this back on track. And keeping immigrants coming in is not going to help us get anything back on track. Because they're here to usurp us and try to take over our country. So I landed there.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm not with immigration at all. I ain't never been a fan of that shit. I didn't grow up around that. I know a lot of people did in bigger cities. I got cousins that I used to visit every summer in New York. And they had like a diverse set of friends, but I'm from the Midwest. It wasn't number black and white people in my school, and it was just a little bit of white people. I mean, they were like salted in there. And out of probably 1,000 kids, it might have been probably 20 white kids that went to my school. You know what I'm saying? So, I ain't with immigration like that. And even when you look at what the fuck is immigration, like I understand people are running from places and shit like that, and this conflict in their homeland or something like that. But what is immigration, and how in the somebody got to explain to me how in the fuck was that ever beneficial to us for people from other countries to come and assimilate over here? Where in the fuck was that ever a good idea? Who came up with that bullshit?
Yeah, I hear.
They came
Maybe
up with
Deborah
it to
wants to
keep
tell
us.
us.
Yeah. Well, I say they came up with it because we were becoming the dominant force in our homeland, up from slavery, right? Remember, right after slavery, we had a great deal of black men that became senators, and they were leading local governments. It was the Democrats that had the paramilitaries that would come out and threaten our people in their towns and cities, so they wouldn't run for offices, because we were very much so politically active. So that's a part of it. They want to make sure that we never outnumber so that we have the power. That's all that is.
Okay, that makes sense now, because it's like if if we lose the power, we'd rather give the power to somebody else than to see them with it, basically.
Yes.
So it's all based off of immigration is based off of anti-black hate then.
I have to come in and go out.
That lady was talking?
I thought she was about to say something.
Maybe she was having connection issues. I don't know.
So Sexy Rock, or Sway Me, I should say, you basically saying that immigration is based off of anti-black hate then?
Yes, it's a tool weaponized against us, most definitely. Because look at how many people come under the race of white in this country, and get put into position and gain wealth, and then have the nerve to tell you're not worthy of anything, and they ain't even built their own third world nations. You look at all the industries we've created, and they've given them over to immigrants. Like right now, the tech industry. The Indians can't even develop a system in their own country, right? But they coming over here thinking that they are greater than us, when we have been the steam and the stem of this nation. Even your recent PC, computer, and peripherals, it is us, not no Indians, and not no white folks. Your security systems, your automatic gear shift in your cars today that 95% of Americans select was created by a black man. So, all of these things we've created in this country, industries we should be dominating, and they give them over to immigrants because they don't want us to have the wealth and to be able to have the power to dictate any and everything in America. That's what that is. But we can rise above it. I see us rising above it. Because once we ethno-aggregate and do our own thing, they want to come every time and encroach our space to see what we're doing, to try to steal what we do. Never fails. And it's going to happen again because the immigrants can't do it. They cannot add the worth and value and wealth to America as we do and have done and will continue to do.
And can I be honest with you? I've worked at some places, when I was in between working in my field, when I just needed to have some money circulating, I would take like a lesser job just because I like working. I feel like a man should get up and get a couple dollars in his pocket. I don't give a fuck what you got to do. So I've taken lesser jobs when I'm not working in my field because I just switch companies or whatever the case. And I've worked around and with immigrants. You talking about some lazy ass motherfuckers and know how to fake like they working? They might not know how to speak English, but them motherfuckers know how to fake like they working and they ain't doing shit.
Nasty, filthy, lazy. Nasty, filthy, lazy.
They lazy as the fuck. They standing around in huddles talking to each other. And we're not allowed to do that at work. Whenever it's about 2 or 3 black people standing around talking to each other, somebody got to come break that shit up and see what the fuck y'all over there talking about. So we ain't even allowed to assimilate and be in groups talking at work. So, but they do that shit all day long. They just play with it. They playing and shit. They in the break room. They outside smoking 1,000,000 cigarettes every half hour. It's just they get to do what they want. It's like it's always all eyes on us. And all the shit that they know that they are, they just project that shit on us. And we get so offended and we like, what the fuck? That's your punk. So we get defensive and start talking shit and talking crazy. And they use our passion against us. But I don't know about y'all, but have anybody ever been lying on you? That's some frustrating shit to have somebody blatantly lying on you. It's frustrating.
But that's to remove you. That's to remove you out of your rightful position and move their people in. And as long as we continue to play their game in the way that they, get you off your square, then it will continue to happen. All we need to do is make sure we report them and report the company for allowing them.
We need to all be calling. We need to host a room where we all call ICE. I'm ready for that room. We should have did that shit today, for real.
Well, ICE in Illinois, ICE is charging any business owners. Did Mark talk about that? I had to step away. But any business owner that has illegals, they finding them. They might even be going out of business. So again, we got an opportunity. We have an opportunity. I'm gonna move forward. Go ahead, Starry Branch, and then 69
I wanted to jump in right quick. ICE is no longer taking phone calls. I guess they're being so overwhelmed. You can't report on the phone, but you can do the form online. But as of a few days ago, they had stopped taking calls. I'm sure that they don't have enough staffing or something going on, or the crash or whatever. But I just wanted to interject to let you guys keep calling. Don't get me wrong, but for now, call in, do the website. But yeah. But as of a couple of 3 days ago, the phone lines were not accepting calls. That's all.
Thank you.
You have them on this app. They're in a lot of these different spaces on this app, and looking for those who support the measures of mass deportations, and because it's at the point, and Sexy Rob was just speaking on it, where if you, for per illegal that they catch in your company here is $20,000 a head. Per illegal immigrant that they catch here in Illinois, it's $20,000 now. So if you have a corporation and you're hiring them, they come in and catch them in your company, you as a corporation is going to be charged $20,000 per head.
I guess we'll go to Deborah. I know she was attempting to say something. Then we'll go to you, Starry, and then 69 Cent.
Hi. Yes. Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you. I'm having trouble with my phone, and I'm still new to these things. Someone asked about the immigration, and I'm the same age as Mark. And I'm actually I'm not an expert on any of this. He's much more educated than I. That's why I enjoy listening to him. But I agree that the immigration issue is just gotten way out of control. I think that, people, because America is a melting pot, we bring people in and for workers and whatnot. And, we're much more generous than other countries, but clearly, it's been taken advantage of by the left, and we'll still need immigration. We still need people to come in and work. And, that's just the way our country is built. But yeah, we don't need this out of control right now. And I appreciate Mark, being the whistleblower on that. I hope y'all can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay, good. Thank you. I can't
Why you say
see anything.
Why you say we need people to come in and work?
Well,
Why do you think that?
Okay, I know. I agree. It took me a while to come.
I'm glad you asked her that, because I'm wondering if we don't have enough Americans and veterans to do this work, that we have to import invaders at our own detriment. And please answer, Deborah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And not just that though. We got our young people that we can be training who's graduating from high school to move into these positions.
I agree completely. I agree. It took me a while to warm up to it as well, and I'm sure Mark could probably explain it much better than I. I barely went to college. You wouldn't want to listen to me, but I'll tell you what I do know, and that is that the way our country is built, we do need immigrants to come in. We do need the workers. So there is a point there, but not to our detriment, us Americans.
Well, I'm gonna counter that. I don't think we need immigrants coming in at this point in time, because when our community has unemployment rates that is double the nation's average, we don't need immigrants to do that work.
Well, at this point,
we need to make sure Black Americans or all Americans are working. They're afforded all the opportunities before we afford any immigrants. And then think about it, I'm gonna say this again. We have a great deal of innovations here in this country, right? So there's no reason why an immigrant should be coming here to become a doctor.
Yeah.
When we have enough of our own in our community that needs to be in those schools becoming doctors. And I don't want anyone from another culture at this point in time being my doctor, because again, we have to go through this process of acculturation, implicit cultural biases, because they come with their own thoughts and racism and stereotypes of our community. And we're Americans. And again, I will reiterate, we're a founding population of Americans. And so I am not in for any immigrants. And again, I'm going to reiterate, you got the Indians coming right now in tech, dominating a tech industry, but Black Americans have been in tech and advanced this nation in technology. And no Indians have been able to advance their country in technology.
Yeah.
The math does not add up.
I agree. No, I agree completely. I do. I agree. I don't know.
Deborah?
At this point, we don't need immigrants. I agree.
Deborah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you a question. Don't you think that you would be further along and we'd be further along if these immigrants weren't standing in the way? We'd have better jobs. We'd be able to get into a hospital because they're overcrowding our hospitals. They're raising the gas prices and raising the food prices because they're getting $10,000 stamps. Economy and making the grocery stores price gouges already that you can barely buy food, but they can, and the housing prices, because they're in here buying 10 houses at a time, putting money together, and then you have the what do you call those people? Investors buying up properties and stuff. And these Chinese and Asians are buying up properties and consolidating where rent can no longer be afforded by Americans. So, and you still want to, and then there's spies all among us that are sending and shipping documents and doing dastardly deeds and ear hustling They're selling out our country.
Yeah.
Chinese, the Arabians,
they're importing drugs.
Yeah, no, I get it. Believe me, I get it. I didn't want to sound like I'm so pro.
I don't think
immigration,
you get it.
but
You walked into a Black American space, and I don't think you get it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But I'm just saying, I get it. Believe me, I understand. But for some reason, our government, I don't know, they have like, maybe the Constitution, like you said, should be rewritten. Something needs to be rewritten. But it allows people to come over here and take on these jobs. And I believe, and I understand what you're saying about we need our kids.
The Constitution has nothing in it about coming and getting some jobs.
Well, you do have that. You do have the Amendment 14 that we need to look at.
I don't know if you're talking about the 14th Amendment or some. Okay, well, it has nothing. It has to do with the freed slaves. It had nothing to do with huddled masses of immigrants coming in here and then overstaying their visas.
Yes,
and bringing. Oh, let me also go to the emergency pandemics and epidemics. They also brought back. We are now seeing an alarming trend and surge of leprosy in Florida. Tuberculosis, I think, is in Canada, Kansas, and all in Florida. The leprosy. You guys look that up. They bring in all these third world diseases in here. Leprosy was non-existent until they got here. They're bringing all kinds of just filth and things are breaking out. I don't think that we need any more immigrants.
Absolutely. Well, no,
by the way, are you an immigrant? Are you?
Oh no.
Are you an immigrant? As far as
half my family, I'll tell you, half my family is completely Western European, English, Irish. The other half is.
So that's why you're advocating.
No, I'm not advocating, and I'm going to explain to you. No, I'm not advocating, and I'm going to explain to you.
Now that's making sense. It makes sense now.
No. If you let me finish, I can explain. The other half of my family is of also Western European and Native American, and I come from a long line of military. And our culture is U.S. military and is America first. Okay, so I understand where you're coming from on this immigration thing. I get it. But there are some things going on in our government.
There's that but.
Okay.
But there's but.
Well, yeah, you ain't keeping it real. Keep it real, baby.
You can take it up with the government. You can take it up with the government.
Say what you mean.
So the problem is like India. Take India, for example. Iran, all that. They got so many people educated in engineering that they do come over here because unfortunately, we don't have enough American, white or black, going into engineering.
That's not true. That's false.
No, that's not false.
No, you guys don't have enough.
Son's in engineering.
No. Deborah, you don't have enough white European
black and white. We don't have enough.
Trapezoids. There's not enough. You guys, birth rates are dying off. I have my guess of one of the plagues that might be of the 10 plagues that is hitting America now. So don't say that we don't have enough people. You're talking about you don't have enough because they're bringing these Ukrainians in and they wanted to bring in the white South Africans in here because they're purebred, pure blood, and bring them over here. That's what my theory is. So I don't think we need any more immigrants.
Can we come back?
We need to prioritize education in our families, both white and black. We need to prioritize education, and that's what Mark Carter is doing. He's trying to educate people so that we can do things ourselves and not have these immigrants come over and take these jobs.
Well, let me just say this, and we're going to move on because Black Americans have been doing it ourselves, but everybody wants to make sure that we don't and we can't do it ourselves. Again, I will repeat, we have been the stem and the steam of America. We have many patents, and many of the things you're utilizing in this society today is through the engineering of our ancestors or their progeny and descendants. So they took STEM out of our public education systems for a reason. because they want to dumb down Americans so they can say what you're saying right now. Oh, we need the immigrants who are still not as educated and smart as the Americans.
I didn't say we need them. I said our government has programs that bring them over.
Right. And that's why we're saying we need an immigration moratorium.
I agree with that.
Yeah. While we clean house, we need to get Americans back in position and trained. I know there are people in tech, people I went to school with. I know a guy built his tech company up and everything, but they decided that they were going to bring in these immigrants and give them the jobs, and had people training Americans, training the immigrants so they could take their positions. That literally happened. Literally. So when I hear that we need them, no, we do not. I don't believe that at all. But go ahead. Let's get to Starry Branch, and then we'll go ahead to 69 cent free.
Perfect. Whoo, goodness. Okay, that was a bit much. We don't need immigrants like that. I wanted to put that out there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So we and I think you know that, but also too, you come from an immigrant background, and you've been in our rooms. Hold on, you've been in our rooms for a few years now, because I see you quite often, and you just sent me a friend request, and I okayed it. That's okay. I don't mind.
I just blocked her.
You know, but also too as well. Again, y'all, Black Americans are the day. Remember that. We are.
I just want to say, I don't mean to interrupt, but I have to get to Deborah before she leaves or whatever. Deborah, these people are backwards primitive, so that they're having to catch up when they get over here to this modernized, tech savvy world, the first world and not the third world. They're bringing these people from the jungles, from back alleys, from the filth of India, from the slums of all these places, and then they're having to play catch up. We're having to try to teach them to wash their hands, to clean up behind themselves, to stop talking, stop, making it hard for us to get our job done because they can't speak English. So
I don't think QT. I don't think she cares about any of that. What we fail to realize as Black Americans and as Americans, period, that's been here, is that there's a different playing field when it comes to everybody else. It's certain things that we don't do, or we wouldn't allow as a whole, as Americans, a society, how we move, that we could not do. So that's the very first thing. Second thing, look at McDonald's. Everything, all the food quality is down. Everything is just nasty. So again, she's coming from the outside into a whole culture that she's wanting to bring more or allow more people that probably are adjacent to her or in her same pool. But I will say this. This is where I'm at, y'all. I've got a quick question for the room. What is going on with the Internal Revenue Service? Has anybody heard any of that? Sway me. Mark, QT. Did QT drop down? I think she dropped down. What's going on with that?
I've heard about it, that he was going to make them border patrol, or they now, I think, is going to fire them. I will say this: I do not believe a lot of them are us.
I don't either.
Or Americans. I believe they went in and hired a lot of others, because my taxes started getting flipped and screwed up. Mm-hmm. So they probably was hiring them in the government for lesser pay, and then they ended up screwing up people's stuff. And Trump knows this. Trump know what's going on. Mm-hmm. Let's take heed, right? He can't say everything in just in plain sight for you, or in certain lingo, but he knows some stuff. Let's see how it works out. But I believe a lot of those remember the IRS agents were being sent out to stop people from speaking free speech. Uh-huh. So I think that's what he's countering. There's something else going on in the IRS that we are not just privy to, but he's gonna let us know. It's coming
Okay.
down the pipeline.
Beautiful, because we see the audit is up, and I'm going to drop after this. We see that audit. They are flipping. That's why I love, and I promise I'm done. I'm dropping down. Man, thank you, President Trump, because we as Black Americans knew what was happening on the surface level, y'all, but he gave us some game and some power in the back door in the deep state of our own folks. And to see this shit and to play out like this, it's beautiful. So thank you, President Trump. All right, I'm dropping down.
Go ahead, 69 free.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you for bringing me up, Sway Me, and appreciate you hosting the room, Mr. Carter. Peace and blessings to everybody. It's been a great conversation. I was listening, and it got me to think in some ways that we can begin to empower ourselves. The main thing that I've been focused on is, since things are working in our favor, some of the things that you can do is use some of this technology we didn't have, some of our ancestors didn't have available to us, so that we don't get tricked. I remember growing up, I grew up with, my parents were older. They could have been my grandparents. So I heard stuff like hoodwink, led astray, bamboozle, whitewash, all of those different